welcome to this special coverage here on Headlines Today on what we've called a Super Sunday of politics, because some of the country's most important leaders have delivered public addresses. All three of them really, Sonia Gandhi, Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi have spoken out. Rahul and Sonia in the context of their battle against the land bill. Narendra Modi addressing his own party MPs and saying it was time to dispel the image that his government was anti-poor. So all three leaders have spoken out on this Sunday. And now we are going to analyze those three speeches that have been made today. Joining me to analyze and in a sense rate the three speeches, Siddharth Vardarajan, senior journalist and former editor of The Hindu, Ashok Malik, senior journalist and columnist, and also joining me, Milind Deora of the Congress Party, its former MP and Union Minister. Appreciate all of you joining us there. Let's start though with Rahul Gandhi, since this was expected to be his much anticipated comeback speech. Remember, he's taken a 56-day sabbatical, left on a leave of absence just before the budget session, and now it was seen as an opportunity for him to galvanize his party cadres. So let's first listen in to what Rahul Gandhi had to say and then try and rate Rahul's speech. Listen in.
मोदी जी गए, विदेश में गए, हिंदुस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री हैं और उन्होंने कहा कि 50 साल का कचरा मैं साफ कर रहा हूं। मोदी जी हिंदुस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री हैं। मुझे यह सुनकर काफी दुख हुआ। सबसे पहले उनको हिंदुस्तान के लोगों की शक्ति नहीं समझ आती। जो आपने पसीना दिया, जो आपने खून दिया पिछले 60 सालों में इस देश को बनाने के लिए, वो उनको दिखाई नहीं देता। और दूसरी बात, ये जो उन्होंने शब्द कहे हैं विदेश में हिंदुस्तान के बारे में, वो ना मोदी जी को शोभा देते हैं और ना प्रधानमंत्री के पद को। सच्चाई यह है कि सरकार गरीबों के लिए चलनी चाहिए। किसान अपना खून पसीना देता है, किसान ने हिंदुस्तान की नींव बनाई है और सरकार को किसान को नहीं भूलना चाहिए।
That was Rahul Gandhi then in his comeback speech. Milind Deora, there is one sense that Rahul missed the occasion. This wasn't just a speech meant to raise the issue of the land bill and farmers' issues, but also convince his own party workers and leaders that he was ready to take charge. Did he do enough to convince the likes of you that Rahul is now ready to take the next step up in your party and actually lead your party?
Well, firstly, I think the media has converted this, today at least, into India's Got Talent in terms of who's the best orator, and let's rank, political leaders and their leadership capabilities and abilities based on their oratory skills. Fundamentally, I believe politics is about a lot more than that. It's about somebody's sincerity, it's about somebody's intent, it's about somebody's sense of conviction, and it's about somebody's ability to get the job done. And I think today, at least at the Congress rally where you saw Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi speak about a very, very important issue that is affecting the entire nation, I can tell you as a person who's been in politics and who's been a member of parliament and a minister in UPA 1 and 2 over the last decade, that both Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi have demonstrated their intent, have demonstrated their sense of conviction, have demonstrated their ability to get the job done on several critical issues. Mrs. Gandhi, I remember, on right to information in 2005.
Let's first focus on Rahul.
Rahul Gandhi on the land acquisition bill.
Let's focus on Rahul Gandhi. What is it that Rahul Gandhi said in your speech that you believe? Because he spoke on where he went back to Niyamgiri. He went back in history. He told us about geography in the context of diamond mining in Australia. But specifically, what is it that he's given you for you or leaders like you to believe that there is hope that he can actually take on a Narendra Modi?
I think the biggest thing that he has communicated, and that Mrs. Gandhi and all leaders have communicated, and that the party as a whole is communicating, is the fact that the country got a land acquisition bill in 2013 with broad-based support from all political parties, including the BJP. And all of a sudden, when BJP came to power, they chose an ordinance route to amend that act. And that's something which has sent a very wrong message across the country.
So
to farmers, to other people, not just those who are affected by land and who have an emotive, relationship with land, but everybody else who's asking a question, why did this have to be done in such a hurry? And that's what politics comes down to, Rajdeep. It's not just about somebody's ability to, have great oratory skills or to have the right time signatures and meters and pausing. It's about the right issues. And today Congress has captured the space as a critical opposition party in raising the issue of the way the land acquisition bill is being diluted by this government.
Ashok Malik, it almost seems that Milind Deora is saying, don't judge my leader on his oratory or lack of it. Please judge him on the issues that he has raised. He's raised an issue which Congress believes can be their ticket back to power, or what Jairam Ramesh calls their Sanjeevani, which will take them back to power.
See, perhaps the Congress thinks it's got the right issue, and it may well be right for, in this long battle up to 2019. But you also have the message is important, so is the messenger. Today was a test of the Congress is grappling with this question of whether Rahul's ready to take over the top job in the Congress and be the face of the Congress. Given his speech and given Mrs. Gandhi's, his mother's speech, Sonia Gandhi's speech, which was much more focused and in a sense much more immediate and political, I think people will decide that Mrs. Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi is still a better leader for the Congress.
You didn't see Rahul as a political speech? Did you see it as meandering and therefore not focusing on one issue?
It was meandering, that's one. Second, he is in a bit of a time warp. If you look at the issues, most of the issues he raised, he spoke about Nyamgiri, forgetting that the local Congress MP Bhakticharan Das came third in 2014 in Nyamgiri.
This is the bauxite mine for our viewers in the context of Vedanta and Rahul's decision not to allow Vedanta to be
so there must be some reason why Bhakticharan Das lost. It wasn't as if everyone in Nyamgiri welcomed Rahul Gandhi stalling that project. That is a lesson he has to learn. He spoke about the achievements of the UPA government, which are where they were. But he could have given this speech in April 2014 as well. What about building the platform for the future?
The politics that he speaks out, 70,000 crore farm waiver that we've given, we brought in Narendra, we were the ones, or he was the one, he says, who stopped Vedanta from mining in Nyamgiri. Now, all these issues were also part of the 2014 campaign, and they didn't resonate for whatever reason with the voters. What makes Rahul Gandhi or anyone believe then that they will resonate in 2015?
Yeah. No, I think, politics, to take up on what Milind Deora was saying, it's also about communication, it's also about being there. And if today a larger part of our discussion, and I suspect the overall national discussion, is not so much on the issues of land acquisition, the issues of rural distress, issues on which the Modi government is vulnerable, but on the inner party wranglings of the Congress, the stature of Rahul Gandhi, his absence. Rahul Gandhi has himself entirely to blame. Now, you can't go away and vanish for 56 days and come back. Obviously, the media is going to focus on India Got Talent, right? Because this rally was scheduled for you to come, for your return. So people are going to judge it by that metric. And I think...
So the oratory, as a result, the oratory becomes as important in a sense as the content of the issues that you make. People want to know, has Rahul Gandhi changed compared to what he was in 2014?
The oratory becomes important, but I think where he erred, and I think where Sonia erred a little less, was that he dwelt, I think, too much on the UPA's record. The UPA, as I tweeted, was not a golden period for the Indian peasantry. They did some positive things in reaction to obvious signs of distress, but there are lots of terrible things that happened as far as and
so he should have given a map ahead. He should have.
I think he should have focused on the struggle ahead. I think it was unfortunate that both Sonia and Rahul's speeches ended kind of on a tepid note, in the sense that we will fight this, but there's no roadmap. I think it would have been useful for them politically to have elaborated what their strategy in Parliament would be, how they would work with other parties to really make the push the Modi government on the defensive.
Yes, and the roadmap. Should he have given a roadmap for his party? That's the way to galvanize a political party.
That's got a point. Even if UPA 2 was a great government, even if Rahul genuinely believes it was a great government, 2019 can't be won by saying UPA 2 was a great government.
That's a good point. Milind Deora, where is the roadmap? There was one point where Rahul Gandhi said, whenever there is a land acquisition that you protest, I will be there. That's the only moment I heard of what Rahul Gandhi intends to do from now on. I'm sorry to be skeptical, but the past of Rahul Gandhi suggests that he has never missed an opportunity to miss an opportunity. So we need to know what is the roadmap that he has for the future. Is he going to stay the course? Is he going to go across the country? We are told of a Padiyatra. Is that actually going to happen?
Yeah, so I think, you know, today we can, it's a nice Sunday afternoon where we can debate whose speech was the best speech and who should have said what, and I appreciate that feedback and those views, and I'm sure each of those speakers would appreciate that too. But ultimately the proof is in the pudding, and that is going to play out in the next few weeks, months and years in terms of which leader believes in rhetoric and which leader believes in actually getting the job done. And I do believe that the collective leadership of Mrs. Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi will deliver. On the land acquisition bill, we will take it all the way to the end. Today there's a protest on the streets, but we have the power to push the government to, you know, take back their amendments in Parliament as well. And I think that's where the proof of the pudding lies, which is not just in analyzing a speech, but really in ensuring that what we're committed towards, where we have a strong sense of conviction, where our intent and our sincerity is clean and pure, that we actually explain that to the people by way of actions, that look, we are really here with you and we will be with you right till the end.
I sense that, and I'm going to now play what Mr. Modi said, because I sense the way the Congress now wants to position it is Mr. Modi's rhetoric versus the Congress's good intentions. That's the way it appears that the Congress, or at least from what Milind Deora is trying to suggest, that they almost admit that Rahul Gandhi cannot match Narendra Modi's oratory. So it's now going to be about the content of Rahul Gandhi versus
no, I would
You almost seem to suggest that.
The Congress party
You're saying this is not an India's Got Talent contest.
The Congress party cannot match the Prime Minister and the BJP's spin and marketing abilities.
The spin and marketing abilities of the Prime Minister is the way you're putting it. But let's listen in for a moment. Since you're calling it spin and marketing, let's listen in to Narendra Modi. Because the Prime Minister today was addressing his party MPs to try and convey the impression that this impression which has gone out, that his government is pro-rich, anti-poor, must be dispelled with. So let's listen in to Narendra Modi and then try and compare the two, both in style and content. Listen in to Mr. Modi.
जिस दिन मुझे पार्लियामेंट में चुन करके आप लोगों ने नेता माना, सेंट्रल हॉल में बैठे थे, मेरा पहले दिन का भाषण है कि सरकार गरीबों को समर्पित है। जिस रास्ते पर हम चल पड़े हैं, आंख में आंख मिला करके दिल से बात कीजिए लोगों से, आप देखिए दुनिया आपको चार चांद लगा देगी, आपको कंधे पर उठा के चलेगी। ये मेरा अनुभव कहता है। कोई मुझे कल्पना कर सकता है? आखिर का सरकार ये क्यों मिशन लेके चली है कि मैं, हमारा सपना है कि देश की आजादी के 75 साल हो, हर किसी का अपना रहने के लिए घर। ये किसके लिए है? हर किसी को रहने के लिए अपना घर, वो किसके लिए है? कौन लोग हैं जिसके पास घर नहीं है? ये अमीर है क्या? ये किसी टीवी चैनल के मालिक का घर नहीं है, उसको देने के लिए कर रहे हैं क्या? किसी अखबार के मालिक को घर नहीं, उसका घर बनाने के लिए कर रहे हैं क्या? ये मुकेश अंबानी के लिए घर बनाने के लिए कह रहे हैं क्या? इस देश में कौन है जिसके पास घर नहीं है? और परिवार बिना छत के हैं, उसके लिए अगर मैं ये कहूं कि पुरानी सरकार जिम्मेवार है, तो मैं गुनहगार हूं क्या? कहीं हकीकत नहीं है कि देश आजाद होने के बाद जितने लोगों के पास घर था, आज 60 साल के बाद बिना घर के लोगों की संख्या बढ़ गई है।
Okay, that is Narendra Modi now, and let's look at that. Mr. Modi wants to dispel this image that his government is anti-poor. Is that going to be the nature of the debate now? Rahul Gandhi claiming, I stand for the farmer, I stand for the Kissan, I stand for the Kheti Majdoor, versus Narendra Modi saying, I stand for every Indian. Is that going to be the nature of the debate, including the poor of the country?
You see, this is a debate that will ultimately not be settled by rhetoric or fine speeches, right? Mr. Modi is now 11 months into his government. So, declarations of intent, spin, packaging what you've done so far can take you only so far, right? So, if you made promises during the election, about minimum support price. Today, BJP chief ministers in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh are saying procurement prices need to be raised. There's rural distress. The centre needs to step in. You made tall promises about sanitation, various other things, but these are not matched by fiscal allocations, even if you factor in the Finance Commission's recommendations for more money to the states. So there is a problem, and I think Mr. Modi recognizes this. There is a perception issue. His interview to Hindustan Times and today his remarks, he is trying to package himself as somebody who is pro-poor.
Is this a perception problem, Ashok Malik, when we see this debate, or is it basically worldviews? Mr. Modi believes that the Land Acquisition Act, which was drafted by the Congress, is actually anti-farmer because it will prevent the farmer from ever becoming truly productive. It will lead to the deindustrialization of India, versus Rahul Gandhi, who seems to believe that this Land Acquisition Act is designed for industrialists to take over farmers' land and leave the farmer impoverished.
The UPS Land Acquisition Act was not perfect, was never perfect. Even days after it was passed, within days after it was passed, Jyotiraditya Scindia, who was Power Minister in Manmohan Singh's government, issued an appeal to his own government saying that let's exempt ultra mega power projects from this Land Acquisition Act. This was just after the act had been enacted by the Lok Sabha. So the fact is, all bills, all acts, all legislations can be amended, and that is precisely what Mr. Modi is saying. He's saying we can't build industry, we can't build cities, we can't build urban centers. With this act, we have to reform it.
Are they looking at two different constituencies? Mr. Modi is looking primarily at what is always called the neo-middle class, aspirational class. He's driving that engine. Rahul Gandhi is going back to the pro-poor rhetoric of an earlier Congress generation.
I think that dichotomy is there because Rahul, through his 10 years in government, when the UPA was in government, only once in Jaipur in 2013 did he actually talk about the class that is not poor and not rich. Otherwise, it was Do Bharat hai, Garib, Amir, rich, poor.
That's precisely what it is, isn't
Modi
it?
has spoken about the aspirational middle class over and over again.
You know, you come from an aspirational middle class constituency, Milind Deora, like South Mumbai. Is there a disconnect between what Rahul Gandhi is saying, or is this going to be part of the Congress's now focus? Let's get back to our left of center politics. Garibi Hatao was a slogan of the 70s, but now it's Kissan Virodhi Sarkar. Is that going to be the kind of politics that you're looking at? How will it fit in with the aspirational middle class that just wants a higher growth rate at the moment?
No, not at all. The Congress will never move away from the aspirational middle class, because we firmly believe that the reforms of 91 were what created this burgeoning middle class in our country.
But I never hear Rahul Gandhi speak on that. I never hear Rahul Gandhi speak on that. I only hear Rahul Gandhi speak a rhetoric which is more similar to Indira Gandhi of the 1970s.
Rajdeep, when we spoke about the Aam Aadmi back in the day in 2004 when we came to power, the Aam Aadmi was the Kissan, the Aam Aadmi was also the urban poor, the Aam Aadmi was also the urban middle class. So there's no, this divide of urban versus rural, rich versus poor, I believe is just, again, it's media spins. In the long run, what ultimately is going to matter is which leader sticks to consistent positions and which leader sticks to inconsistent positions.
Okay.
There are so many examples in the last year of what the Prime Minister said during his election speeches, where he's taken a complete 180 degrees U-turn.
Give me one example.
Whatever you may say about Rahul Gandhi's oratory abilities.
Give me an example. Give me an example of where you believe
look at J&K, for instance. Look at Jammu and Kashmir, for example. The most recent example is in Jammu and Kashmir, where he spoke about Article 370, and look what's happening in the state today. Whatever you may say about Rahul Gandhi's oratory abilities,
does the Congress want Article 370?
You cannot take away the fact from him that he has always maintained a consistent position on issues that he's passionate and sincere about. And that, I really believe, ultimately is what will count in Indian politics.
Okay, many would say the example that you've given of Jammu and Kashmir, on the other hand, is an achievement of Mr. Modi to try and actually see the art of the possible, which is what politics is often about, by tying up with Mufti Muhammad Saeed. But let's take a break. I'm going to ask all of you then to rate these speeches, including that of Sonia Gandhi, and what is the road map ahead? Is this now going to be the land acquisition bill, as Ashok Malik has said earlier today, the nuclear moment of the Modi government? Back in a moment. Welcome back. There were three speeches really today. We had anticipated this, as we are calling it, about Chappan ki Chhati, that is Mr. Modi, and Chappan ki Chutti, which is Rahul Gandhi. But there was Sonia Gandhi also, who spoke today. Listen in for a moment also to the Congress president, and then we'll review all three speeches.
हम आज यहाँ इसलिए जुटे हैं ताकि हम प्रधानमंत्री और उनकी सरकार को पूरी ताकत से यह संदेश दे कि अब बहुत हो चुका है। किसानों, खेत मजदूर और गरीबों के हितों की इतनी बेदर्दी के साथ हम नजरअंदाज नहीं होने देंगे। आज हम यहाँ इसलिए जुटे हैं जिससे मोदी सरकार को यह संदेश पूरी मजबूती से दिया जा सके कि देश के किसान देश के खेत मजदूर, देश के गरीब उनके खोखले वादों और उनकी चाल को समझ चुके हैं। बेमौसम बारिश और ओलावृष्टि से किसानों को बेहद नुकसान हुआ। किसान कर्ज से दबे हुए दिन ब दिन आत्महत्याएं बढ़ती जा रही है और सरकार, मोदी सरकार की तरफ से जो राहत की घोषणाएं की जा रही है वह ना के बराबर है। ऐसा लगता है जैसे जख्म पर नमक छिड़कने की कोशिश हो रही है।
You know, Milind Deora, there was supposed to be a battle within a battle today as to who will now take the reins of the Congress and take forward your campaign against Mr. Modi. Is it Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi? Is that battle settled today, that Sonia Gandhi will continue to lead the offensive with Rahul's support, or in the next month, as you have suggested in a recent tweet, Rahul Gandhi will take over?
See, Rajdeep, I think that in any organization, in a political organization, in a business organization, change is inevitable, and at some point there will be a generational transition and transformation. And for the Congress party too, that time has come. Now, whether Rahul Gandhi takes over today, whether he takes over tomorrow, that's something which the party will decide internally. That's based on our schedule, not on somebody's expected schedule.
What's your view?
I firmly believe that for the last decade that I've been active in politics, when we were in government in UPA 1 and 2, the Congress party has a unique ability, unlike the BJP and many other political parties, to work across generations. So regardless of whether Rahul Gandhi takes over today or whether he takes over tomorrow, there will be collective leadership where Mrs. Gandhi's wisdom, Mrs. Gandhi's experience will continue to contribute to the party, and we will work unitedly, collectively under both of them.
You know, you call it unique. Many would say this is a unique way of a family transition. What you call a generational is basically mother handing the baton onto the son. But the sense one got is that this was also an opportunity, in a sense, for Rahul to grow out of the shadow of Sonia. That's not happening. It's clear that the Congress needs Sonia Gandhi more than they need Rahul Gandhi. Would that be a fair assumption? In today's rally, the fact that she gave the last speech suggests that the Congress is still uncertain whether Rahul can be the one to take on Narendra Modi.
Well, I'll defer to to Mr. Milind Deora's insider knowledge about what may happen in the Congress, but to an outsider, to a layperson like me and to all of us, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi's speech today was not the speech of a politician who's looking to go into retirement. It was a speech that she invested a lot of time and energy in, clearly, and I think it connected with people in a way that Rahul Gandhi's speech didn't.
Can I therefore leave a final thought to you, Ashok Malik? Is the battleground now going to be Sonia versus Modi, a Sonia-led opposition versus Narendra Modi as the parliament session comes, with the land acquisition bill being, as you've called it, the nuclear moment where Mr. Modi is determined to go ahead with it, even if it requires a joint session?
You know, both Sonia and Rahul have their limitations as orators compared to Modi. Having said that, Sonia gave a political speech and gave a contemporary speech. She even spoke about unseasonal rain. Rahul spoke about drought some years ago, which was not the immediate concern of his North Indian farmer audience. There are three tests. There may well be a generational change, as Milind Deora suggests, but there are three tests. Who will negotiate with and coordinate with opposition leaders, other opposition leaders in parliament? Number two, what will happen in Punjab? Is it Bajwa? Is it Amrinder Singh? Who decides? Number three, who talks to Lalu and Nitish in Bihar? Is it Rahul or is it Sonia?
And you believe, from the Modi perspective, Mr. Modi, irrespective of this perception issue, is going to go ahead with the land acquisition bill because he's committed to it?
He has to. He's gone too far ahead. He can't back out now without...
Okay. So what we've seen on this Super Sunday, in a sense, is only a teaser for what we are probably going to see over the next 6 to 8 weeks as this crucial parliament session comes up, where Mr. Modi is determined to go ahead with the land.